Hello, friends. Again, I greet you with the words of the Lord Jesus. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be with you. In a time of social isolation, in a time of social distancing, somebody had made the observation that perhaps all of us have a little bit better sense of what it might be for monks who live in isolation all of the time. Gregory Hillis, who's an associate professor of theology at Bellarmine University in Kentucky, talked about a discussion that he had with some of the Cistercian monks that live in the Abbey of Gethsemane in that state of Kentucky. And they asked one monk in particular what his reflections were upon living life in a time of plague. And every evening, the monks in that monastery chant out Psalm 91. It's a familiar psalm to a number of you. And the words of the psalm include, "You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the plague that prowls in darkness, nor the scourge that lays waste at noon." And this particular monk said that he had never thought of the threat of plague would pertain to his monastery or to him in all of this time. Gregory Hillis asked him the question, well, considering that you're used to living in isolation, you and your community, what do you think that style of life could teach those of us who are learning how to live more in isolation? And the gist of what he said was that a moment such as this gives us that moment to strip away everything else that we think is important in life, our routines, our sense of busyness, and it gives us a chance to understand and see more properly the grace of God and the fragileness of the human situation. He said that all of life is lived in the shadow of death. And when we realize that we have very little power over any of that, and that all of life is a gift, and that all of life comes from God, we learn to depend less upon the things of our routine, the things that give us a sense of control and power, and learn to rely more on the providence and power of God. I hope and pray that as we spend more time in isolation, we may appreciate our dependence upon the grace and the power of God to see us through times of difficulty. Until the next time, again, I leave you with the words of the Lord Jesus. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be with you.